Here at PAX East, where can I get a drink around here?
そうだね、今回ね、デベロッパーが出てないから、あんまりいいとこ出てないんだよね。まあでもよかったらここで飲んできな。どうぞ。
Don't know what he said, but let's get to the interview. What's up, nerds? We're here, PAX East 2024. Last day for us, not last day for the event. Day 3 is arguably the busiest day, but we'll be sure to get some of that sweet video game coverage that you've all been enjoying for the remainder of this time. I don't know what happened before. I haven't been around. I've been watching the previous episodes, but today is my day. Host it. You don't know who you'll run into at PAX East. We have Starr here.
Hello, how are you?
I don't even think anything is like anybody actually invited you here. You just kind of show up when you know the game's being Final Fantasy 16's here. Starr.
That's right. Well, actually, no, I was here. I was at PAX East to doing some Warframe stuff.
Okay.
And so I'm working on Warframe 1999 with Digital Extreme. So we were doing a panel there, and it just so happened that Final Fantasy 16 was talking about some Rising Tide stuff. So I thought I'd be involved, and here we are at the Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail stand.
So how do you feel when people say, like, if someone plays Warframe and they're like, is that Clive? Like, has that happened to you since you've started like this like outward? I feel like it's a voice actor renaissance of like that's kind of coming around where this attention is so profound and I want to say like a lot has to do with your energy.
Thank you. I feel like I have a lot of it, but sometimes I feel like I don't have enough. Like, I want to have as much energy as I can for people because I can't tell you how enthusiastic and amazing and generous everyone has been with their time and their thoughts, and I've had so many kind of genuinely meaningful conversations with people, and it's kind of overwhelming. You kind of really don't feel worthy of it, but still I've got to have as much energy as possible. But yeah, I'm here for Warframe, and I get to play this really badass character called Arthur, who is a proto-frame, some really lovely sexy 90s references. I'm really excited to do it, and Digital Extremes have been really kind to me to let me be involved. But also, you know, I'm here, right? Final Fantasy's in my blood. The reason I'm even in this industry in the capacity that I am is because of this amazing franchise, and I love celebrating as much as possible.
I feel like I'm talking for our entire viewers. Just it's exciting to see your career and the career of voice acting in general. We'll definitely be following all your projects. So thank you, and thank your colleagues.
Thank you. I mean, the last time we spoke was PAX West, right?
Yeah,
we hung out then.
That was one of my favorite interviews of all time. I really love getting into the nuances of character development and what goes in, the behind the scenes of characters and the emotions and passions that people bring to it. Because you play the game, probably a gamer will only connect to a few, you know, and these stories, when I play games and I invest myself in, it is like that self-immersion, I guess. I'm just really attached to the presentation that you bring to your characters.
I just think because the fans have been so generous in giving, we felt really included, and we feel like almost their love has given us permission to play as much as possible and have fun and reach out. We don't feel weird when we want to talk about the game, which we really love, because the fans really love us talking about it. They know how invested we have been in these characters, and also how invested, I mean, I can only speak for myself personally, how invested I am in this industry, and how invested I am in the players that play these games, because I am one of those people. So I think they recognize that. They love that I love playing games, and I love being a part of cool things I never thought I would get to do. I feel so unworthy of all of this, but I really love it.
Oh, you're talking directly to me. The imposter syndrome.
Huge, right?
Oh man, you have to tell yourself when someone says like you did great. It's like whoa, like I've been.
Yeah, you're basically like, no, I didn't. I was rubbish. But I think that's something quite British as well. I thought it was just a British thing. Where if someone gives you a compliment, they're like, no, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's in the back of your head always, and I'm so happy that that's also becoming a thing. Is calling out. It's like no, accept that.
Press L3 and R3 to accept the truth.
Yeah. We are great. We knew that. Thank you. Well, thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much.
It's always so awesome. It's a pleasure seeing you, and have a great PAX.
Thank you. You too.
welcome to PAX East 2024. We're at the bar here with no other than Suda51 talking about Shadow of the Damned Hella Remastered. Please tell us about the game and just pitch us what you're working on right here.
もともとこのダムドは PS3、プレイステーション3と Xbox360 で発売されたゲームで、今から10年以上の前のゲームなんですけども、なかなか、他の、なんか機種にポートすることができなかったんですね。EA が、なんだっけ、オリジンだけだったら OK だったんですけども、ずっとその制約があったので実現でしなかったんですけども、それが解除されて EA が他のプラットフォームでも出していいっていうことで、彼らと話をして今回これが実現しました。なのでほとんどのプラットフォームで遊べます。でなんといっても Nintendo Switch で遊べるっていうのが、これが多分ビッグニュースだと思いますね。はい、
This game was released originally in 2011, and these types of third-person action shooters, we don't really see them too often anymore. And I know you're more of a Renaissance man. You're kind of at the forefront of like what is fun in gameplay, and I want to know, do you see like this style of third-person action kind of making a comeback now in 2024?
ある種スタンダードになってるのかなという気はしますけどね。もちろんバイオハザードのレジェンドイビルのシリーズもそうだし、この間のアランウェイク2もそうだし、やっぱり TPS の良さってなんていうかな、やっぱ写実的であったりとか、より映画的であったりとか、ストーリーとアクションの多分、特にアクションアドベンチャーかとしての相性がめちゃくちゃいいはずなんですよね。なのでこのジャンルっていうのは多分これからもずっと続いていくんじゃないかなっていう気もしますし、僕らグラスホッパーも得意な領域なので、新作で作っていきたいなと思ってますよ。
It's been over 10 years since this game released. Coming back to it and looking at the systems that you developed all those years ago, is it hard to not criticize yourself and want to upgrade these old systems, or does it get your creativity wheels spinning again to maybe return to this series for future installments?
まずもうちょっとこうすればよかったっていうところは細かいところでありますよね。例えばエフェクトの表現の仕方一つとか、もうちょっとこのエフェクト変えた方が良かったなとかっていうのもすごく感じる部分もあるんですけども、あとはやっぱり当時、本当10年以上前のゲームとはちょっと思えないぐらい、やっぱり結構表現の高い領域もたくさんあるし、この表現今最近やってないけども、なんか新作とかで使えるなっていうのもありますし、グラスホッパーの昔作ったね、ある意味そのデザインのお家芸みたいなところ、これを新しい作品に活用するっていうことも多分できるなっていうのは逆に感じますね。であと、もう一つの質問としては、ガルシアとあとは、ラスボスのフレミングというキャラクター、この2つのキャラクターをすごく大事にしたいんですよね。なんでどんな形かわからないんですけども、これからのグラスホッパーの作品に何かしらこの2人のキャラクターっていうのは関わらせていきたいなと思ってます。
What gets you excited when in game development today? I know you travel to a lot of indie studios in Japan. What do you look out for? Like, what's on your excitement list right now?
いやー、多分その質問僕に聞いちゃいけないんじゃないかな一番。
It kind of feels like he's the specific type of dude you maybe shouldn't ask him about that kind of stuff.
全然わかんない。
I know.
No idea.
I feel like when I see you interact with a lot of Japanese indie developers, they always get excited when you come around. What do they like to show you when you come around? What is like this? Suda will love this.
でもアクション系はあるかな。ごめんね、こんな回答でいいのかな。
Speaking, okay, well now time for a shitty question. What is going on with your guys' YouTube uploads of the little teases you guys have going on? Can you explain these? Because they have my brain just going crazy.
あれは本当に作ってる最中の動画をちょっとずつ切り出してるだけなんで、本当中身は分からないようにしてるんですよ。だからゲームを作ってます。一つ言えることはゲームを作ってます。
So for Shadow of the Dam, we have a release date?
Not yet.
Okay, so for Shadow of the Dam Hella Remastered, it's coming out later in 2024. What are you most excited to hear from the fans, new and returning to this game, and what would you like to say to them? Just a statement in general.
このゲームは、僕自身がこのゲームの開発者じゃないとして、無関係な人間として、 一ゲームファンとして見たときにやっぱりすごくとても10年前のタイトルとは思えなかったりとか、あとやっぱりちょっと忘れ去られたタイトルのような気がしていて、で例えば三上真さんがプロデュースしていたりとか、これってもうなかなかないことだと思うんですよね。で林田 Q さん、旧林田さんっていうドロフェドロで今すごく多分海外でも人気になってると思うんですけども、林田 Q さんがゲームのキャラクターデザインするっていうことも多分なかなかなくて、すごく奇跡的ななんていうのかな、スタッフィングで作られたゲームなんですよね。なのでぜひ今の時代だからこそ、いろんな本当にスタークリエイターの人たちが、スター作家の人たちが集まって作ったゲームっていうのを、本当世界中の人たちに知ってほしいですし、いろんなゲーマーの人たちに若いゲーマーにも知ってほしいなと思ってます。でやっぱりアクションシューティングとして、アクションアドベンチャーとしてすごくやっぱり質の高い出来なんですよね、昔から。なんで、このゲームをもう一度、ね、このヘラリマスターでぜひ体感してほしいなと思ってます。
I bet they will. And please, viewers, if you're excited as we are, please let us know in the comments below what you think about Shadow of the Damned Hella Remastered, coming probably later this year. But specifically, check out the Nintendo Switch version because Suda51 is very excited about it. So thank you. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
To plug, are we going to see maybe a sequel?
もしかしたら続編とかって出たりしますか？
めちゃくちゃ売れたら
If it sells a lot.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take
Want
it.
a sequel? Buy 6 copies.
Can't get any good interviews here at PAX East. Even the Moogles walk away from us. You look nice. I love it.
Man, look at her cosplay.
Oh my God, let's interview Angelo. Whoa, what the hell work did you put into this? Would you like to?
No.
What's up everyone? We're back here at PAX East 2024 with developer Inky Dreams showing off their new game.
Kamikaze Lassplanes.
Okay, this is definitely up the alley of our viewers and personally myself. So this title is here at PAX and they're showcasing a new demo, so please let us know about it.
Kamikaze Lassplanes is a visual novel game with shoot 'em up twist. You are playing as a pilot who can romance girls who can turn into warplanes. That's typical anime situation.
Yeah, as they do.
Yeah, that happens every day in real world. So the full version of the game is a 8 hours visual novel with branching choices which leads to various endings. You can have both good and bad ending for both girls, and this type of visual novel story is combined with the shoot 'em up. We tried to do our best to make it feel like a one game because we are aware that these are pretty separate genres. That's why we also treat this game as a new opening for new audience for shoot 'em up players, because classic shoot 'em ups have a very high level of entry, and we did our best to lower this entry level a little bit by adding various power-ups which change the gameplay situation a lot, and also by adding various difficulty levels which are compatible with various types of players.
During pitching, while you guys were creating this, how did these two genres come together during the development phase?
You know, to be honest, this game combines everything we love at Inky Dreams about video games. We are raised with manga and anime things, also with old school retro games like Sega Dreamcast or Sega Saturn, and we are experienced with arcade games, and we also always wanted to make something about anime. And what's more anime than visual novel? That's why we're having a wonderful script writer who does a pretty unique story, because it may look quirky and funny if you played it on the Steam Next Fest. The first chapter was pretty romantic and positive, but soon after the first chapter of the game, the mood changes drastically. It's a more serious and dark story. So
something to get those people who played that demo to look forward to. And on that demo, was there feedback that affected kind of the development that you received, and how has that been?
We received a lot of comments and feedback about the gameplay. Even in the PAX demo, we already implemented a lot of things people asked about. We have a retry button and a story mode missions, which allows you to play it again. We balanced the game in a way which appeared in the comments. We added some additional power-ups like the auto-aim. If you look at the gameplay, it is not only about classic bullet hell, shooting a lot of enemies with your weapon, but you're collecting a lot of power-ups which affect the situation. You can turn the situation into be more
Advantageous.
Yes, exactly. That's a hard word.
No, it is
That's
for
a very
me too.
difficult
I
word.
can't spell it. Don't ask me to spell it, okay?
Okay, so for shoot 'em up players, we also prepared arcade mode, which has no story at all, but we highly recommend playing story mode because the narration happens both in visual novel segments and in shoot 'em up segments, and your choices in visual novel segments even affect what happens in the gameplay. So also for the shoot 'em up missions, every shoot 'em up mission has some unique feature. For example, in this mission, you have to defend the village from the bombs which are falling from the top of the screen. And we want every mission to be memorized by players with not only the visuals, but also with some gameplay mechanics which appeared in these missions.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers are wondering, you mentioned dating mechanics?
Actually, yes, it is a romance.
Okay.
So we have two Lassplanes, and they are very different personalities. Your choices in visual novel shape your personality, and by shaping this personality, you're opening or closing romance options with them. And there are also good and bad ending for them. Regarding this romance part, we also pursued the ecchi aesthetics, like in Konosuba or animes like that. But I want to mention that the sexy part isn't the topic of this game. It is more a theme, the art style for the game. So it is not a game about, okay, I cannot say this word in public.
More of a garnish, not the entree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, this game caught my eye, so if you're wondering what my personal recommendation would be from PAX, it's definitely cute waifus in plates. Do you have a release time or a release window that you're planning?
Exactly, that's what I wanted to mention. Yes, we are releasing the game this year. It will be probably summer vacation. And it will be released simultaneously on the Steam and on Nintendo Switch. And we are aiming for 60 FPS on Nintendo Switch, and in most of the gameplay situations, it is 60 FPS.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to it, so keep track on our coverage, and we'll definitely keep checking in. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're back at PAX East 2024 looking at Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Introduce yourself, let us know about the game a little bit so we can let the viewers know what they're in for here.
Of course, yeah. So I'm Enrique, I'm from Rocket Trap. We are in the studio from São Paulo, Brazil. And this is the first time we are showing this, our brand new game. We did Dodgeball Academia back in 2021, I think.
Yeah. That time period, I feel like is like
during the pandemic.
we have one like.
So it's been really cool to be back at our convention and show the game for the first time.
What's been the reception like here at the show for a developer seeing their game being played by so many for the first time?
Well, totally overwhelming for sure. Yeah, I wish the whole team was here to see it because we've been working on this for like 2 years now, and it's so great to finally see people playing it and people get the references. So we are very inspired by Nintendo, obviously, and they all get like the GBA feel that we are trying to give and the Zelda vibes. So yeah, it's been really cool.
What was the decision at the studio? Why did you guys decide to go this retro adventure route?
We all grew up like love playing Zelda, and like I'm a huge fan of Zelda Minish Cap and Oracle of Seasons, and I feel like there aren't that many games that capture that feeling. And we are also hardcore Metroidvania fans, so we always wanted to make a Metroidvania game, but there's so many side-scroller games right now, and we wanted to try something different. Pipistrello has like a mix of everything, like Zelda, Castlevania. There's also some platforming sequences like Mario, where you have to string together all the different yo-yo moves.
And on that, let's talk about Pipistrello. What's the back of the box? Who's the characters and what adventure are they looking forward to here?
Yeah, so you play as Pipich, which is a bat. By the way, Pipistrello is an Italian word for bats. So they're a family of bats, and they run the city like an energy corporation. Actually, the bosses, which are down there, they execute a coup at their family because they are tired of having to pay taxes to them, having to pay for the energy. So they try to capture his auntie's soul, which is like the Don Corleone of the universe. And she actually gets trapped inside a yo-yo. So she's like the Navi from Zelda, so she's always following you. So your adventure is to grab the mega batteries that they start part of her soul to make her whole again. So yeah, it's a very complicated story, but it's really cool.
It just gives us more to look forward to when we're diving into this adventure and just stuff to explore and stuff to unlock. Is that kind of influential imagination something that your team is kind of pushing for, just like letting the player invest themselves in this nostalgic kind of retro experience, but also have fun, like low barrier fun, but enjoy
Absolutely.
themselves?
We're aiming for a game like Zelda and Castlevania, so you can expect to explore lots of dungeons, and each dungeon you get to unlock a new yo-yo skill, and this skill follows you throughout the entire game, and you can reach different areas that you couldn't before. And there are also upgrades and lots of upgrade systems and progression, so there's a lot to it. I can't wait to show everything to everybody.
Do we have a release window?
Not yet, probably later this year or at worst like early next year.
Keep a lookout for Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. I thought I was going to have a problem saying Pipistrello, but it really does just slide off the tongue. Yeah, it's a really good word. Try saying it while you're watching this. And thank you for your time, Enrique.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to PAX East 2024. We're at the PM Studios booth looking at Cricket, Jay's really peculiar game.
That is correct.
Oh,
yes.
I got it right.
You got it.
It only took me 3 or 4 years, but I got it right. I was like, this is gonna be the year that I nail it.
Oh, yeah.
We got a release date.
Yes, August 15th, finally. Only took, the first commit of the engine, that was like 2011. So yeah, 13 years. Always follow your dreams, kids.
Let's not jump ahead. So right here, we're showing it now. The game's in an updated state. What's been the changes that you've seen from based off of feedback leading up to this release date?
Mainly involving the combat mechanics, tide meter, like just more UI to elements to make like what it actually does more clear, what the name of it is, because I didn't even display the name of it. I just named it once, and then people were like, oh yeah, that meter thing, right? So I was fixing that up. Also just making some moves feel a bit more, making the timing a bit tighter and making it just juicing things up for folks, mainly.
As a developer, is it great for you to receive that feedback because you're kind of stuck in a silo while you're developing it? You're thinking that, oh, this combat's tight, but then you see others play it and how they approach it, and then that kind of shifts your way of thinking a little bit. How has that experience been as a developer?
For feedback, actually, sometimes it goes the opposite, where I go, I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, I see this every day. So I was like, I don't even remember what makes this thing fun anymore. Seeing people play it and like enjoy it and really enjoying the feedback. Or yeah, there are parts that are a bit difficult to interface with, and it's like, oh yeah, I could make that a little bit more clear because you're staring at it all the time. You kind of take it for granted, like what you're seeing, and then players are looking at it and be like, I don't know how to control anything. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's like, yeah, that's fair, and trying to make that more clear.
So for those viewers who might not know or might not have been keeping up with Cricket's development, what is Cricket and what is this game that you've been working on?
Ah, yes, the spiel. All right, I've been practicing. All right. But anyway, yeah, so Cricket, Jay's Really Peculiar Game, is a JRPG about a young boy going on a journey with his friends to the moon to try and bring his mom back to life.
This story has been pretty much personal to you as well as maybe has some influences from other developers, but it's definitely a game that you've shaped over the years through your own creativity.
Yeah.
And what's this final product looking like? 13 years ago, did you see it looking like this? What are those changes that have gone through?
So when I started building the engine, and yeah, I was like, I'm going to build a JRPG, right? And it was going to be pixel art, and it was going to be all done by me, the one-man band, whatever you want to call it, and all the music done by me and everything. And then some friends joined in after we released a sound plan, took a bit of a short, I wouldn't say a break because I kept working on it, which really fixed up the engine. Friends joined, and then eventually we started hiring people I didn't know, which is when we really became a business. I think at that point was hiring people I don't know, which was an experience. Yeah, it completely changed. Like wasn't expecting doing animation like this, American style animation. It took a completely different shape than I was expecting. And I mean, I think all creative works go through that period, right? Where you realize you can do more, or you realize the thing you're doing is not quite working, and you make changes.
This game is a turn-based RPG. I guess it's a little more fluid. I wouldn't say it's like, I like the timing aspect of the battle system. There's interactivity in that. What made you want to create an RPG, a turn-based RPG with these kind of mechanics? What was that influence like?
Just growing up, JRPGs were my favorite. I had Dragon Warrior 3, now Dragon Quest. Before you come at me, all right? I know, all right? Yeah, I had that on the Game Boy Color, and I just would play that all the time, and I was just like, I just love this turn-based gameplay. I love the strategizing and all that. I just grew to love JRPGs, and Mario RPG, I played that one, Chrono Trigger, I played that, and then I was just like, these are just my favorite game type. And they're really good at telling stories, right? They're like the game equivalent of like a chapter book. And so, do people call it those anymore?
I'll call it. You're starting a trendsetter. We're all calling it chapter books now.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, telling a long-form story, JRPGs are great at that. And that's the sort of thing I was trying to tell with Cricket. That the very heartfelt, personal story about loss and loneliness and how friendship gets you out of that. That's based on my own real experiences with losing my mother figure when I was 8 years old, going on 9. So
those stories that we tell and how the players receive them, you're putting those creations out to be criticized and deconstructed and stuff, which already takes a lot of pressure on the developer. Coming up to the release date of August 18th, what are your plans on refining this release for a full 1.0, I suppose?
Playtest. We have a group of playtesters that are willing to give honest, sometimes brutal feedback, and we take that and we try to make the game better, not just specifically for them, but because sometimes people will give suggestions that aren't the best. But I think everything everyone says, you should pay attention and then try to get to the root cause, right? Someone might say, oh, there's too much dialogue, when really what they mean is just the dialogue that's there is boring.
Yeah.
Right? For example. And so it's constant playtesting, refining, playtest it again. Does it work? I don't know. We'll find out, right? We're doing that and refining so that it's like in a state that we're happy with by the time August 15th rolls around.
And with that, we're already excited about Cricket. You should be too. So be sure to check out more of our coverage on Noisy Pixel, and be sure to look out for that release date of August 15th for Cricket, Jay's really peculiar game.
Got
it. I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
Thank you.
All right.
We just took $3. Luckily, he's still gonna do it. Cash, yeah. He was saying it couldn't take my card because I put cash in. So, I'm so glad you guys are right here. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. No, don't be.
Hey everyone, we're back at the PM Studios at PAX East 2024 here looking at Skopje from Dark One Studios. Introduce your game, introduce yourself.
Guys, hi, my name is Chris and I'm the developer with Skopje. It's a first-person shooter, roguelite, open world survival game with up to 4-player co-op. The game is taking place in Skopje, which we as developers come from. It's the capital of North Macedonia for anyone who doesn't know. We've been working on this for a very long time. We're trying to get it out as soon as possible, of course. The game takes place in Skopje, so the story goes in 1962 there was a huge earthquake that razed half of the city to the ground. In our version of events it was caused by supernatural causes. After that, the city has been rebuilt in a brutalistic architectural style, and it's been taken over by 3 different mad scientists, each one with their own vision of how humanity should look like. One of them tries to merge man and machine, the other one tries to merge people with plants and animals, the third one is a cult leader who thinks of himself as a god, and he makes clones of himself, basically. So it's a time loop, so you have a certain amount of time in order to figure out how to stop the city from getting nuked, and that's how like the roguelite element works. each run you get progression based on like blueprints that you unlock or upgrades that you install to yourself or the bus. So yes, the bus is an important element of the game. It's a mobile base that you can ride around the entire city. You can sleep in and you can craft items in it and store items also. So yeah, I think
You think you covered it all? Whoa, we can go home now. Wrap it up, guys. Skopje as a game, it has elements of like Borderlands, kind of, but that roguelite game loop, what is that 7-day time stop on the game for? How has that challenged gamers or challenged your own development team to create?
The gamers, it's challenging them in order to figure out what to do, because we're not relying on objective markers. We're more of a read the journal entries and figure your way to go about things in the world. So that's like one challenge. So each run you get to do something else. You can't do the same thing or else you don't progress the game and the story behind it. On our side, it doesn't make too much of a difference, honestly. That's how we planned it out, so that's how we're doing it.
You said the game's been in development for a really long time. How long is a long time?
Well, the first 3 years it was developed by a small team of 3 people, and the last 2 years nowadays we're like 7 people working on it.
Is it excited to see new players get their hands on the game for the first time and you're seeing your game being played? What's going through your head when you're watching these people play?
Yeah, I'm just watching them play and seeing if they get stuck on things, and I'm just trying to, in case they do, I'm just nudging them in the right direction.
Is that feedback crucial for you as a development team to bring back to your team and be like, hey, I saw X, Y, Z, this is stuff we can improve on?
Yeah, for sure. So if I notice something that needs improvement and that I see people struggling with, yeah, absolutely, I bring it in front of the team and say, okay, this many people got stuck on this part, let's try to figure out how to make that better.
Do we have release timing or release structure?
We don't have a release timing yet, but we're hoping to be on Steam Next Fest this June.
Oh, so players will actually get their hands on it for this limited time and give you feedback. The first-person kind of upgrades, the roguelites typically have like the game loop of you'll get an upgrade to get you further your next run. Yeah. Is that something that's in this game, or how do you expect players to keep going into runs? What's the game?
Right, so each time you pick up a new weapon, the weapons in our game are unique, and each time you pick one up, you unlock its blueprint. So next time you play, you can just grab the elements needed and you can craft it. So you don't have to go around the city looking for it at the same place again. There's one aspect, and the same goes for blueprints. If you complete certain things, you unlock blueprints in the game, so that's a big part. Another part is upgrades. So some upgrades are persistent, so when you upgrade, you don't have to upgrade it anymore. Next time you play, you're gonna have your player upgraded with that part.
Are you going to consoles and PC, or just PC for now?
So PC for now. We are hoping to get into consoles, but PC is our first target.
Awesome, guys. Be on the lookout for Skopje coming out to Steam's Next Fest demo, so we'll definitely be sharing coverage of it. Check out the B-roll now and let us know what you think about it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The best spot in town. It's not what it used to be. Welcome to Skopje.
What's going on, nerds? Mark here. As always, thank you so much for clicking on these PAX videos, and hopefully you got a chance to see all of them. We do appreciate everyone taking some time to get to know us a little more. So here's to more PAX content, and we'll see you next time at PAX.
Pipistrello.